Going back to what we learned last night about another assassination attempt upon a interlocutor for ceasefire talks. And that is a gentleman named Kamal Karzai. And he is a former foreign minister and seasoned diplomat, and very much sort of the intermediary between the diplomats and the other hardliners, the religious hardliners, as well as the military version of them, the IRGC. Apparently, Mr. Karzai was the one that the Pakistanis were talking to. And not only because he is a seasoned diplomat and they probably have a historic relationship with him because he was the former foreign minister, but also that he lived openly in his residential neighborhood, in the residential building. Well, they bombed him. Whether it was a US-Israeli strike, but I'm going to again go with the fact that Israel is leading this war. And Israel is doing the assassinations. And they're proudly claiming that they're doing it. So it's not like we're making this up. They're actually cheerleading these assassinations. So they bombed his residential neighborhood and they killed his wife and they severely injured him. Christian Amanpour today is verifying that he has been severely injured and that his wife has been killed. And she is expressing her thoughts on this matter and also saying that he is part of the political elite that is being targeted. And some more Iran analysts have said that this is more evidence of the fact that military targets or military personalities are no longer their sole concern of Israel. That it's really now erasure and killing the political elite is now part of the game. Because you want to leave no one. You want to leave no one who has a historical record or has been a diplomatic success or has any form of sophistication. So you want to erase them. And that is what the attack on this gentleman was. And not only do you erase them, you erase their families. So they killed his wife. So we don't know how gravely injured he is, but he is gravely injured, apparently. So there is that. Christian Amanpour openly says that, look, Iranians are saying, and Iranian diaspora are more and more saying, Iran is a 2,500-year-old civilization. The United States is 250 years old. And Iranians are not going to be erased that easily. This is what she is saying. And last night's speech by Trump saying that Iran will be turned back to the Stone Age where they belong really, really grated on most Iranians, whether diaspora or inside Iran. She is saying that. We can only imagine the effect it's had on people of Iranian descent and of people inside Iran. That said, let's go back to mighty Europe. What is mighty Europe saying? So Yvette Cooper convened a meeting, not sure if it's virtual or real time, of 35 nations, I think. And what is the statement that she made? Yvette Cooper condemns Iranian recklessness over global economic security. She is chairing a meeting of almost 36 nations to discuss measures to help reopen the Strait of Hormuz. And that is what she thinks her opening salvo should be to a diplomatic effort. She condemned Iranian recklessness for hitting global economic security, adding that the UK is seeking to lead a diplomatic initiative to restore access to the maritime route being targeted by Iran in retaliation for US-Israeli campaign against it. She said there were more than 25 attacks on vessels in the strait and 20,000 seafarers trapped on 2,000 ships. Iranian recklessness towards countries who were never involved in this conflict is just not hitting mortgage rates and petrol prices and cost of living here in the UK and in many different countries across the world. It is hitting our global economic security. Not once has Ms. Cooper condemned the unprovoked attack on Iran. Not once. Not once has she condemned the death of school children, the killing of people and kids in the orphanages, the attack on the sports center which killed kids, the testing of an untested missile that was used to kill these people, the 3,000 people who've been killed, all the heritage sites, the civilian infrastructure that is being targeted, the assassinations. No. She wants us to believe that Iran is doing this in a vacuum. Nothing precedes this. You see, nothing. Iran just woke up one morning and decided that the Strait of Hormuz should be closed or restricted access should be given. Nothing preceded it, nothing. The Strait of Hormuz was open on February 27th, even on February 28th. It was open. What did Europe do? Mr. Merz, the German Chancellor, who is one of the key members of Europe, the largest and most important economy in Europe, got on a plane, came to the United States, and cheered the attack on Iran by Israel and America. Then what happened? Mr. Carney jumped in with both feet and also cheered the attack on Iran and gave his full support to Trump and to Israel. Remember, Mr. Carney was the governor of the Central Bank of England at one point. So he gave full support. Then the icing on the cake was Mr. Rutte, the head of NATO. He came to the United States and got on American television and told the American public to get behind Trump, that Trump was doing the right thing and that NATO would join him, that Europe would come on board very soon. Perhaps Ms. Cooper forgot that we all saw that. So did the Iranians. Please stop gaslighting us. That is why you are suffering today. That is why your economies are in a tailspin, because you are complicit. And everyone can see that. She talks about Iran holding the world economy hostage. No, madam. Netanyahu, first and foremost, is holding the world economy hostage. Trump is in cahoots with him. This is Netanyahu's war. Netanyahu over and over again has said that the Strait of Hormuz can be made irrelevant if he controls the oil, that the oil pipelines should be diverted to Israeli ports. Netanyahu is holding the world economy, the well-being of Europeans, the well-being of Americans hostage to his maniacal civilizational erasure war. So Yvette Cooper is busy berating Iran, gaslighting the world, refusing to take responsibility for Europe's role in all of this. That is why Iran is not allowing your ships to get through the Strait of Hormuz. And do not forget that Iran has a terrible history with the UK. And they blame both the UK and the United States for the coup d'etat in the 1950s. But they blame the UK a lot for meddling in Iranian affairs and for trying to appropriate Iranian resources. There is a history, but what is present in front of our eyes is what transpired right after Trump and Netanyahu attacked Iran. February 27th, the Strait of Hormuz was open. Soon after the attack, one European leader after the other started to make the statements they did, supporting this war, spewing all sorts of nonsense, and here we are. So maybe someone in Europe, maybe Pedro Sanchez, will read her the Riot Act. There is no diplomatic solution either for Europe if they don't start being honest and if they don't start reining in Israel. Start sanctioning their warmongers, stop any weaponry from going to Israel. Yes, do provide sanctions. Tell us how you are going to sanction Israel to stop them from taking the world economy hostage. Otherwise, as The Guardian states, Europe remains weak and pathetic, and these European leaders are doing grave damage to their citizenry.